What's going on, y'all? We alive. We alive. See some people already in. Shout out Elijah. What's going on? First of all, it is Father's Day. Shout out to all the fathers. Happy Father's Day. Especially you taking time to stop in this morning. Definitely appreciate you all coming through. I had to do it early because we got a day of activity, so that's how I do it. When I have something to do this afternoon, Father's Day events or whatever, throughout the rest of the day, so I couldn't go without getting with y'all this morning. Go ahead and get this thing going early. So, like as normal, we jump on 9:30. Well, our typical time is 12:30, and this all started during the season when we would do game day review after the day of the game, and really just a summary of the week, like all the activities leading up to the week, and then the game be on Saturday, sometimes on Fridays. Sometimes I go ahead and do it on Saturday, but if the game's on Saturday, we go ahead and have our review. That's where this Sunday came from. um so appreciate everybody coming through. Like I say, appreciate y'all jumping on early this morning. I know you could be in the bed, you could be anywhere else, but you were here. But man, we got a good conversation today. I'm gonna tell you. Y'all know when I do my channel, everybody have their thing. I always say this. I listen to other guys' channels, some of them, not everybody. I don't have the time. It's a lot of decent, good channels out there for Colorado, and they all kind of do something different. And then I'm sure some new ones I haven't heard of. I can't say I've heard everybody's channel, but a lot of the guys who started before me and right around time of me, I was able to get a chance to see what they were doing. And the reason why you do your own thing is because you are going to bring something different. You're going to bring your own style, your own flavor. And I wanted to do things in a way that was how I wanted to express it. That's the whole point. And when you look at my channel, I like to look into the deeper components of it. I don't try to over talk people football wise, using lingo and things they don't understand. And plus the lingo changes. I mean, they're synonymous, but they're different. So sometimes people like to throw around words, kind of almost like religion. It's like you can throw around these words, but you'll understand it's not there. It's not rooted. And we can talk big words and talk Greek literally. And the reality is the foundation is what I really, really, really appreciate. And that's why I can talk with people who, quote unquote, are fans who don't understand football, because they understand life. And my ultimate goal is to get the life principles out of it too. So that's why we have our inspiration, motivation. So make sure y'all like, share, and make sure y'all subscribe. And definitely subscribe so you all can catch the inspiration, motivation, which we typically do on Sunday afternoons. Worst case scenario, y'all don't know, is somebody forget us, just get over when I do it on that Monday. So definitely make sure y'all subscribe for that. We cover all aspects of this thing, but I'm gonna tell y'all, when the season gets here, it's different. And anybody who know this, especially was here last year, the conversation in the season is different, man. It is loaded with content, from the preparation of the game, from the conversation, the matchups. Everybody's doing the matchup analysis. You got the media talking. You got well off going, and you got your predictions and all of that. You try to squeeze all that in before the game, and it's gonna be even more challenging this year with the game being on a Thursday, first game, because we usually do stuff on Thursday. I know I've been doing things with B Watts on Thursday, so typically on Thursday we would have something where kind of like my last video. I think the team usually would be there. They we started to do interviews and stuff like that with what was it, DNVR or whatever. And that would happen on Friday or sometimes Thursday, depending on the game. And we would just get a lot of content, man. So one thing for sure, we don't run out of content, and everybody's going to do it their way. I'm going to do it my way. And speaking of that, today's conversation is, are CU fans being unrealistic? Honestly, I got that from just a combination of places. Take a deep breath. I've explained to y'all my analysis and my predictions and what it's based off of. Everybody got the right to predict what they're going to predict. And some of it is illogical, but whatever, that's your perspective. And I look at it from just the big picture. I'm a big picture person. People who try to be analytical and so deep, they're very narrow in their vision. They only see things in the way, and really they're not even really looking at it from themselves. They're leaning on stats, they're leaning on analytics. And it's like, realistically, who came up with that? What is their spin? What is their motive? That's how I look at everything. Like, you got to be careful where you get your information from. We ain't gonna even get into inspiration. That's an inspiration motivation type thing. Where are you getting your information from? Is it a bias already there? Are you truly saying that what you're doing comes from your analysis, or are you just repeating what you heard? A lot of people just repeat what they heard, da, 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 da. Versus really, really consuming the information and then coming up with their analysis and be able to back their analysis. And maybe that's just how I am from an analytical person, but also, I was a psychology guy in college, and you had to break that thing down like that when you do your analysis, especially when you're writing research papers and stuff like that. So that's just some of the fundamental ways I learned outside of my natural, uh, my natural breakdown. I think you are. I think if you really layer it, you are what you put on film. I think you also are statistics. And I think you also are your surroundings. See, that's something I'm always bringing that most people, these super sports people, they're gonna talk about stats. Most people don't know how to break down film. Most people don't have access to film. I think film is probably one of the higher things that you look at from sports. You can see tendencies, mistakes, and stuff like that. But most people, the average fan, is looking at some data thrown up. But I go even deeper. I look at your surroundings. One thing I've learned, appreciate it, Happy Father's Day. One of the things I've learned, I want y'all to pull in with me here. Shout out Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Jeremiah. It is a component. And I learned something being a coach, with the little kids and trainer, just being an athlete. Because people got this thing where they talk as if all levels. What's going on? All right, CJ. Happy Father's Day. Was it Maxed Up Athletics? My thing is, you have to really look at how everything come together. It's your environment really matters. Unity really matters. That's why when people talk about gelling, that is a real thing. It's a real thing, but sometimes if the chemistry is not right on a team, and again, this is like inspiration, motivation type thing, so I'm not gonna go too deep into it. But with the team, unity really matters. And Colorado, like we said last year, it was some stuff going on. It was kind of maybe passive aggressive. It wasn't outright, but that stuff does affect a team. And with that, it also affects individuals. Your mind got to be right. When it comes to sports, especially team sports, if one person don't do their job, it can jack up the whole team. He can jack up the whole team. That's what people don't realize. See, that's why I like to break down the stuff everybody's glancing over. They talking over your head as if you understand it. Maybe you played sports, maybe you didn't. But let's dig deeper into the reality. Get them lights up, like you said. The reality is this. There are other factors that can affect your performance. And maybe that's my psychological, whatever, sports psychology, whatever. You could be a great player and mentally psych yourself out. It could be several things. It could be what's going on outside the field. It could be what's going on with your family. It could be what's going on in the locker room. It could be something going on just with you physically. Did you get enough rest? Is your diet right? It's a lot of things outside of just what you're showing. So you can have a bad day. you can make mistakes. Some things can be corrected in the right environment with the right leadership. When you look at Colorado last year, it clearly was a divide going on. And I think the defense got better over time. So I can't really knock the defense. I think the defense really did their thing throughout the rest of the season. The offense just fell apart. And it makes sense because they say Sean Lewis, he really let Sean Lewis sit down because he already really had another job. Salute. He already had another job. He already was gone. So it makes sense to move somebody who really wasn't committed. And it was a lot going on. And that showed because at that same time, that's when the offense was in decline. They started out hot. They went out, and then that was a great line, but darn. But as the season went with injuries and everything, it was downhill. There are a lot of factors that can affect performance. So I will say that. So when I say film and I say analytics, all of that gives you a picture, but I'm a full picture person. That neither one of those things are the gospel. Some people treat that one thing as the gospel. Some people say, hey, the film, show everything. I think it shows more because especially you get a collection of film. It shows more than what the ordinary person would see. Happy Father's Day. Appreciate that. Happy Father's Day, everybody. I think that person inside of that team will have a bigger picture of what's really going on. Because we can see the performance on the field. We can see the performance on the field, but we don't see the why. I'm a why type of guy. If I'm going to explain something to you, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to do my best to tell you why. So, with that being said, a lot of people think Colorado's been unrealistic. Their fans, us, most of us, hopefully. They say that we're not being realistic. They say our coach don't have no experience, barely. They say come from FCS. And then they try to dog off even the accomplishments he do have. They write it off. They say, hey, he just played lower level. Hey, he didn't win the big game. He went Celebration Bowl. His record, all that. They counteract it with negativity. So you got all of that. Then you say he come here, he haven't proved nothing at this level. His first year was he lost, he had a losing record, right? Which they expected, but it's like it's all used to minimize. Happy Father's Day. So use that. Then you say his coaching staff. Is he gonna say they don't have experience? We had Charles Keller there last year, all the years of experience. It didn't necessarily mean a whole lot. Sean Lewis was down with a whole lot of years of experience. It didn't necessarily mean a whole lot. So it's like at the end of the day, the experience didn't really help. So then they go to the next level. They haven't coached together long, right? The coaching staff haven't coached together long. It's like every angle they find at this man, they gonna pull up. Everybody got a weakness. You can say Alabama got a new staff this year. They should lose. But you say, no, the Alabama, the history. They're not going to talk about the fact that the coach, with a lot of that history gone. They got a new coach in. He got to adapt to the coach. They got to adapt to him. Not saying that everybody's saying they're going to win it all, but a lot of people are not writing Alabama off, right? This is Alabama. But if you really, really want to pick at any organization, you really could if your whole motive is to minimize them or expose them. And that's what I see with Colorado. I see people say stuff like the players, it's a new cycle of players every year. They portal driven every year, 30, 40 kids every year. It's only been 2 years. You're going off those 2 years, fine. You hear stuff like, well, they playing daddy, but you get into all that other stuff. And the reality is this, guys. They use all of that and they say all y'all here who took out the time this morning, they say you are crazy to think that Colorado is going to win anything. Nevertheless, have a 10-2 or undefeated season. They say it's impossible. And my thing is, all that, man. If you listen to that stuff long enough, you'll say something like, if you don't really believe this stuff, you'll be like, you know what, they right. Cause all they got is negative. They don't give you no positive talking points. They're gonna give you negative. Since you're in Georgia and a lot of us are, you should do a view and see you party. Yeah, I just realized recently a lot of people in Georgia. Um, we might put something together. I know B Watts also in Georgia. Um, there's some other content people in Georgia. I don't necessarily know like that. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Y'all think of a good game that could be done. We definitely know that it's gonna be hard to do on a Thursday, that first game on the week. And I do want to make a game. I do want to make at least one game out there in Boulder. I do want to see Colorado. I mean, all this content I do, it's like I do want to go down there, and I do want to possibly go. I do want to go to Central Florida. Being that you can drive down there in like 6-7 hours. I don't know, something like that. Um, so I'm definitely looking to see which games we can go to, and we definitely can do something. They got a place, what is that called? Chicago Piece or something out there in Snellville. It has like 200 screens. It's like, it's crazy. I know that place got to be loud, but we're gonna figure something out. We're gonna figure out, maybe some people know a place you can do maybe one of y'all own an event venue. I don't know. I don't know what people have. Put the resources together, and we can do something. But man, depending on how this season go, man, it's gonna be really interesting because as Colorado get hot, man, we can have a lot of fun, because we saw what that looked like the first few games. Colorado was a broken team last year. I mean, it was incomplete. It was some pieces missing. It was some depth missing, and they showed you the flash of greatness that we can produce. So, man, if we can make a run, man, it's gonna be really exciting. I mean, if you can you jump out that 5-6 games, and you already quote unquote bowl eligible, and you chasing that, Shador chasing that Heisman, Travis chasing that Heisman again, chasing the playoff, or chasing that conference championship, chasing the playoff, and that momentum kick in and they winning them games, man, it's a lot of stuff we're gonna have to have some conversations about. Some stuff we're gonna have to do, because this to be considered a legendary season. It is a legendary season, not just for Colorado, but college football in general, because at that point we're witnessing history. Colorado is doing the impossible, because that's what we're here to talk about. They're saying it's impossible. They're saying that Colorado should win 6 games and be happy. They're saying that Colorado at best should go 8-4, and 8-4 is a good record. I personally don't think that should be their goal, because they got a wealth of talent, young and old. Shador is going for the first picks in the draft. So is Travis. It's rare you have that combination on anybody's team. So, and then you look at all the other guys people overlooking, like the Westers, like the Will Shepherds, who they shoot for the NFL too. Colorado could easily have 8 to 10 guys go in the draft. That's not even including free agent. Or if you want to say including free agent, 10 plus. So it's like Colorado has to have that many guys potentially be drafted on one team. That's not a mediocre team. That's just dumb to say, It's mediocre to expect them. You got that much talent that's going to the NFL. They ain't going to the NFL, they ain't win, because they're not talented. Because that much talent on one team, they should dominate. And that's where we get our expectation of domination. And all that well off should give us a better idea of what type of players we got. If anything, we should know that. We should know the talent, because we are seeing them. And in them pads. Well, first of all, you seen them in pads where they came from. For all those want to say they didn't play. Clearly, most of these guys played and started, and they came here this year. So what we're looking at is, with that level of talent on both sides of the ball, that's not a 6-6 caliber team. Last year team, broken as it was, you can put them, even though they went 4-8. Well, you watch them steal a game from Utah, whether everybody played or not. Record, you want to throw the record out there. Like I always say, you watch them take 3 touchdowns to make Utah win that game. regardless of who didn't play, because we had people didn't play too. They stole the game, period, on TV. And only a fool will argue that. Like, they stole the game. They didn't like coulda, woulda. They literally took 3 touchdowns off the board on some bogus calls to just barely win. They rigged the game. That's it. That's a straight up example. And then you watch us give away the game to Stanford. And even if you look at some of the calls at the end of that game, that swayed the game. Like they said, Travis won this. All Travis did was push the boy back. The boy was pushing and shoving Travis the whole game, all on the ground after the play. He pushed him back. That is not a personal foul. He didn't fight him. He didn't take his helmet off. It was a shoving match. And it was a 3rd and long, and Colorado stopped them. The game was over. See, let's talk about that. The game at that point, Colorado made that stop. The game was over. They had just made a stop of 3rd and long. They were out of field goal range. Colorado was still in the lead, and them stopping them right there, the game was over. It was not enough clock. I think it was like a few minutes left in the game. The game was over. That penalty allowed them to score and get back in the game. That's how they end up going into overtime. It wouldn't have been no overtime without that play. So it's like they took advantage of, every call they could make. And Colorado made some busted plays, absolutely. But Colorado, I hate to say this, Colorado gave up touchdowns they could afford to give up. They was up by 3-4 touchdowns. Did they make the game tighter than they should? They still was in the lead. That's how much of a lead they had. But it wasn't the big plays in the end that got Stanford in to win that game. It was penalties, and it was penalties that was questionable. It was some things that were questionable that made that game tighter. Colorado made mistakes, but when they did make the stops, penalties. And I'm gonna be real with you. All the penalties, you're not gonna sit here and tell me all the penalties were just like you're not gonna tell me that all the penalties they didn't call on the other team was just, because it was some penalties they could have called both ways. It was some holdings they could have called, they didn't call. It was some pass interference that they didn't call. Ripping the jersey all the way off the receiver is a clear pass interference, especially right in front of the, See, it goes on the run like I'm predicting. You could plan, watch party. Yeah, we definitely. Everybody named mama, even the people who ain't here gonna have a CU. If CU make a run, people gonna come out the graves. They gonna come out the hole. Everybody gonna have a CU party. You're like, where they come from? Who are you? Everybody gonna have a CU party. CU go and if they make it to the conference, a watch party. Either the first Big 12 game, Baylor or Kansas State. That's a good idea. I wouldn't mind being at Kansas State game. I really wouldn't mind that. What day that is? I think that's right after. Is that right before UCF or right after? I really need to figure out. Shout out folks at Tangler. Thanks to them. Hey, watched the fight last night. Yeah. What night? What fight was that? What fight was that? I'm definitely planning on watching pay-per-view. You got them pay-per-view channels on there. It's so much stuff on. I'll be watching cricket. I don't even know. I'll be watching the crazy stuff just because I can on that Tangler box. Speaking of that Tangler box, let me go ahead and drop that. Thanks for that shout out. Y'all keep playing around with this Tangler box. Just make sure your internet strong. That's all. You can't go with the cheap internet. And then you be wondering why your internet going in and out and stuff like that. You can't go with the $10 a month internet. And just make sure your internet strong and connection strong. For the most part, you good. We watch movies and all of that on that thing, man. You see it scrolling. It's a good time for the Tangler box. This is our sponsor. It's gonna be our sponsor pretty much for the season because it's relevant. Get your Tangler box. Cut that cable. Getting your head bust, paying $100+ a month. Some people got these souped up packages, almost $200 a month. Go ahead and kill that. Kill that cable. Tangler Box got over 10,000 live channels all over the world. I can watch your local news on Tangler. I can watch Detroit local news, Las Vegas local news. I can watch everything. And people, like, some people pull up and then they get ghosts. Go ahead and get it. It don't hurt you to get it. I mean, you use it for a couple months. It don't pay for itself. Think about it. You paying $100, $200 plus a month for cable. This is a one time. Somebody asked how much it is. Shout out. He said, how much is the box? The box is right now it's $299. $299. That's including 10,000 plus live channels. That's all your local and everybody else local channels. You know what I like? I'm gonna give y'all an example why I like this Tangler. If you have a blackout of your market, let's say you on the East Coast and they select the games they want you to watch when the NFL come on. Like, okay, the next game coming on is the Eagles versus the Redskins, and you want to watch a West Coast game. All you got to do is get on your Tangler Box, go to the local channel on the West Coast, and watch it on their channel. Your local channel can only show the channels they want to watch because it's based off of what coast you on. Then this is like a prime time game. They're not going to show you. Shout out to R Jizzle. They're not going to show you any other game other than what is in the package for your coast. Like you're watching ABC, Fox, or whatever. Fox is going to tell you the channels, and it's going to be according to, those 3 games they're going to show you based off of where you are. But if you want to see something in another time zone that your local channel is not, you can easily go to whatever local channel. Like if it's St. Louis, you can watch St. Louis, Oakland, or whatever. You can go to their local channel and watch the game if they're showing it on their local Fox and not showing it on your Fox. That's a big deal because that's why everybody pay these NFL Network and all these packages to show all the NFL games, and they paying out the yin yang for that. That's extra. So I got also what I like about the Tangler Box is when you watching these college games, this will get on my nerves so bad. ESPN. You watching, let's say they say Colorado come on at 6 and it's a basketball game or something come on before the game. And that game, for some reason, they don't time it right or they go into overtime. Your game started at 6 and their game supposed to be over and your game supposed to start. They end up going to 6:20, 6:30 and hold your game up. And by the time you get to the game, you don't miss the first half of the first half of the first quarter. Versus they'll say at the bottom of the screen, go head over to ESPN, 3 or whatever. If you got those channels, ESPN News going to show the beginning of the game until this channel catch up. I noticed that too. I just realized that last year with Colorado. So it wasn't all just Pac-12. It was also those ESPN games that always seem to get behind a game that go too long or go in overtime. And I mess around and miss the game. And I'd be mad. But isn't that like your blood boiling? You're going to run into that with these 6 o'clock games. If they ain't on Fox and ABC, if they on ESPN, they're going to be behind another game. Somebody game. And that game going to run over. It's going to be a basketball game more than likely. And they're going to sit up there and you're going to be like, hurry up. You mad. And they calling time out and showing commercials. And you know that game don't start it. You're going to be mad. Trust me. I remember when Jackson State games used to do that. You watch HBCU, you definitely want Tangler Box as well. You want every channel you can have to catch those other channels that normally is not on. While Nebraska's over there popping off, it goes Brian. He's not talking about. You know what? They talking already. They did it last year. I don't know why they popping off. Season ain't even got started yet, but let them do it because that's gonna be a heated game. It's a rival game, so they're gonna pop off. And they got their butt whooped last year. I didn't even watch it, y'all. I couldn't. I didn't even watch it. I'm going on the snatch. Man, hey, look here. And let me tell you something else about a Tangler Box. It's just like the Fire Stick. It's mobile. You go out of town, you go over your folks' house, you take your box with you. Can't do that with a cable box. You go out of town, go to the hotel, and they want you to plug your Tangler Box in. You got all the channels. It's internet based. It's many things. I really have undersold the Tangler box, and it's really underpriced. It really should be at least $500 because, like I said, people paying $200 a month in cable for 1 month. And you say, what if it start working? First of all, it ain't, because you got a support team. Any issues, they're gonna deal with it. Two, in 2 months, the box paid for. You ain't lost nothing. What if the cable go out? You see, so and people don't think about that. Yeah, I highly recommend it. I've got a couple people here don't got the box. They happy with it. Like I said, as long as you got you some solid Wi-Fi, you gonna have a good time, and you gonna be discovering. Man, I'll be watching Family Matters on it, reading Rainbow. You know who grew up in the '80s? I don't found all the old shows, man. Reading Rainbow, like you find all kinds of old stuff. Animaniacs when you was a kid. I'm watching all this crazy stuff on there. It's crazy. The stuff you can find. New movies. Once the movies come out, about maybe a few weeks, a month or so, you can catch all the movies in the theater on there. Good quality, not no bootleg, nobody walking in front of you. Yeah. He said nobody worry about Nebraska. You better not. Constant updates. I mean, your box is gonna show at the bottom updates. You can update it whenever you want to. You can update it every day. It's got like the category has like live TV. It has movies. Then it has series like TV series, and then you at the bottom of each one, it sometimes do automatically. You just update it. And let's keep it updated because stuff always coming in. So you got to keep it updated because new movies are always coming in, new TV shows are always coming in. It's always update. So you wanted to update, and so you just when you cut it on, you'll just hit update and it'll update all of them. Take a couple minutes. So it ain't nothing you have to do. It does. Oh yeah. Oh, these days for sure. The kids, right? Kids spending 2-3 kids with no job spending more than that on some shoes, which is crazy. But like I say, it's a good investment to have, especially if you watch sports. If you got a family, it's a good investment. Yeah, Reading Rainbow. Yeah. I pulled up Reading Rainbow to show my kids. I can't find Reading Rainbow nowhere. You can't find it on YouTube. You can't find it on Google. I pulled it up on the Tangler. It go all the way back to season 1. It looked like it's in the 70s. And you got all the seasons all the way up. And I'm like, wow, man, it took me back, man. I grew up on Reading Rainbow, and I'm trying to remember the other shows I grew up on. Because those was truly shows for kids. There wasn't no agenda in it. And they really was teaching some stuff, man. It ain't like just pure entertainment. So I'm like, wow. But like I said, I found like the Animaniac series in there. People who grew up in the 90s, was in school in the 90s, like the Pinky and the Brain and all that's crazy. I'm like, you can't find that stuff nowhere. They make you pay for it, and even if you can't find it. They in the chats, man. Please, let me just say something. Colorado beat Nebraska last year with a makeshift line, making a lot of mistakes. Should do it through 30 points with getting sacked, with making mistakes, making a lot of mistakes. So, I mean, how do you even talk? You just need to show up. You got whooped by a makeshift Colorado team. They didn't really have no wildebeest on that line like that. Our line was undersized, and y'all line was supposedly bigger. Remember, they kept saying the Nebraska line is bigger. They're bigger, and they supposed to just ran all over us. Supposed to ran the ball all over us. They didn't. Our defensive line is bigger this year. Our linebackers are legit this year. Our offensive line legit. If you didn't beat us, Coach Prime said it clear as day. I'm gonna say it again. He said, "This is the year. Get me now. You better get me now." Literally, everybody who got him last year, good for you. If you didn't, you're delusional to think you're gonna get him this year. You're delusional. If you couldn't beat him with undersized, undercoached line last year, you're not finna run over Benson. You're not finna run over Tyler Johnson, Tyler Brown. You're not finna run over even Jordan Seaton. You're not running over him. You're not finna run over. We got Kirkland able to get in if he healthy. Flapjack looking good. You're not running over that. We got depth this year. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, you finna embarrass yourself. They're gonna be way better. Like they say we are deluded. They say we've been unrealistic. Colorado's gonna be way better. Way better. Like, I don't get everybody claiming no football. They're gonna be way better. That's not wishful thinking. That's common sense, because you look at, they line couldn't block, and he was able to throw 30, 40 points on teams with no line, running for his life. He couldn't even sit in the pocket. They were, like I say, on B-Watch, twerking on each other, and the guy didn't run right past him. They didn't let him go by. And he still was able to make, man, that man sitting in that pocket, man. Y'all think y'all seen something. That man gonna break records this year. If they get a man a clean pocket, it's not gonna be close. It might be, the likelihood of losing is small. It's a possibility, but they ain't even looking at the upside, because they say, oh, you got a new line, you got a new coordinator, you got they nitpicking. You don't realize, if that man get another second and a half of time, his receivers was open last year. It was the line's fault. They say it was his fault. Yeah, I'm sure he learned from the stuff that was his fault. But if that man had more time, them boys was open. He got better receivers this year. Wester get open, he's serious after the catch. He's not gonna need a lot of catches to go over 100 yards a game. He can go over 100 yards a game, 5-6 catches, the way he be open and the way he go after the catch. Y'all gotta be serious, man. Wester led the country. He led the country last year. His quarterback wasn't as good as Shedeur. That's why he came here. Will Shepherd, the guy been balling since the sophomore year. He didn't have no quarterback like Shedeur. His team wasn't the best in the conference. They was getting dogged out like Colorado. They couldn't get him the ball. They was getting SEC. It was at the bottom of the SEC. Of course, they wasn't able to get him the ball. They were running for their life against Georgia and Alabama and Auburn, all these other teams. So when these guys actually have time to get open, Marion Miller sneaky. He showed you what he can do. Travis Hunter, you know what he can do. If you're not covering them, your best bet is to sack Shedeur. Let's be real. Your best bet of beating Colorado is sacking Shedeur. Period. That's what they did last year. They figured, oh, shucks, if we don't get Shedeur on the ground, he can always beat us. The whole rest of that season was them loading up the box, watching the line twerk on each other, and sacking Shedeur to the point he was hurt. That's the only way they can beat Shedeur. So there's no way Lode Hart and all these linemen, your only job is to keep people off Shedeur. We got Atia, big bulldozer from overseas. We got big boys, and we just need to put in the middle. If they just so much bigger, we got the boys to match up. They 340, 350, 360. If we just need, for certain games, since y'all so big and bad, we can put big boys in there. Goal line, put the big boy in there. Running game, put the big boys in there. We got big boys that, if anything we know how to do, they can run block. They can run block. We can alternate linemen for our strengths, per game, per situation, if we need to. So for you to say, is they gonna have a run game? Are they gonna do this? Are they gonna do that? Man, they clearly don't know. They clearly don't know. For all I'm saying is, they ain't gotta be Georgia. Man, they don't want no bulletin board material. They DBs can't keep up. Have they proved they legit? Who proved who legit? Have Nebraska proved they legit? Who we talking about? Because 2 teams we talking about. Who got to prove what? Is it one team got to prove? Both teams got to prove. Who got to prove? Are you talking about Nebraska? Dupree? Who got to prove anything? Because in that case, everybody got to prove. But I don't see that. I'm hoping you're saying Nebraska, because Nebraska the one talking junk. So who got to prove what? Nebraska got to prove. You're right. Nebraska got to prove. Because I know we ain't talking about Colorado got to prove. Because that case, that theory apply to everybody they play. You can't tell them to shut up and everybody else talk because they ain't proved nothing. Ain't nobody proved nothing. If that's the case. Because, everybody got the portal. Everybody got the coaching change. Everybody got something going on. So everybody got to prove it then. And Colorado knows what they got to prove. It ain't no secret. They come from a 4-8 record. They got a new team. That's the common sense. They got to prove it. But I wanted as much common sense that Nebraska also got to prove it. North Dakota State also got to prove it. They got a new coaching staff too. But everybody, they skate all around that. And then they playing up a level. And they supposed to be that upset. They lost their head coach. But they hear the anybody else lose their head coach, nobody ain't talking about them like that. But when you play in Nebraska, yeah. I mean, when you playing Colorado, yeah. BJ Green is going to. I mean, I don't think he's the only one. I think if you don't double Chidozie, think about it. How you gonna double team BJ Green and not double Chidozie or triple? So the fact that you double Chidozie automatically is opening up for that tackle at the end. Let's talk football now. If you double up on Chidozie or Barnes, you better, or they're gonna just destroy the middle of your line. That means either that tackle finna be open one-on-one or the end. BJ Green finna be open one-on-one. One of them finna be open. That's the matchup problem gonna start in the middle of the line, not on the outside. You'll be a fool to double him and then leave your center or your guard one-on-one with Chidozie or Barnes. So they're gonna have to double. And what that also means on the run, the linebacker finna be free. Because you dare leave, that guard dare leave that center one-on-one to try to go get their linebacker or vice versa. They can forget about running the ball. And we just added Tafiq up in there too. Tafiq showing he can be disrupted in the middle too. And we still got Carter. Don't sleep on Carter. Carter, big boy, SEC, Arkansas. So the mismatch is going to start in the middle. They're going to have to double up, first off, on Chidozie, Barnes, Tafiq, Carter. And they're going to have to double on them boys. Then you bump down to the tackle. Okay, if that guard and center there, then that means that tackle is one-on-one with that end. I mean, with that tackle over there. If they go double up on that end, depending on how that front is shifted, if they double down on that end, the linebacker finna eat. Linebacker finna eat. It ain't no. I'm gonna release. I'm gonna help and I'm gonna release up that linebacker. That's a wrap. Y'all see what I'm saying? I wish I had a whiteboard to show y'all. Either way, they got to pick their poison. Hey man, I already said it's gonna be a lot different. We played with a botch defense last year. Like it was very inconsistent pressure when on the pass. All the teams that we played, it was like flag football where you can't rush the quarterback or something. All them guys sit in the pocket very comfortably. Every now and then we got pressure. That's not going to happen this year. And you'll be a fool to say, how do I know? How do you know? They just came. All the boys we just bought coming with production. That's how I know. At this level higher. That's what they do. It's not what they're going to do. That's what they're already proven to do. And we got multiple of them. So that's how I know. If it wasn't going, if C wasn't good, they wouldn't get attention. They're going to get the attention because they demand the attention. And then once they play good, their attention is like gasoline on the fire. Hey man, y'all check out my community. We don't post the pictures of them boys not blocking. And then one he beat you. No, you literally didn't touch him. You just didn't touch him. Yeah. Travis gonna be a lot more fresh. I mean, these guys are competitive, man. They want to fight and everything. They're competitive. Oh yeah, this guy coming to play, man. He coming late. and he raising eyebrows. He knows how to get in the backfield. That's all I'm gonna say. He know how to get in the backfield, and he big. Y'all look how big the dude is. He know. Oh, y'all, there's 270, 280. Look how big this dude is. He's 300 plus, and he can move. And he probably the sleeper on our defensive line because we don't know him as what. We don't know him. We don't know much about him. He just got here in the last portal. And so he wasn't here in the spring. So we was like, oh, Barnes, oh, he's so big. Oh, Shadows, they clogging up. But this boy here, I want him on third down. I want him and McNeil in there. And don't forget about Buell. They're going to be a whole problem, man. Ain't no Buell. Don't forget about him. I want these boys in on passing down. Oh, my goodness. Buell, Tafiq, McNeil. I want them guys on the field. Let Barnes, Chidoze, wear that lineman out. Oh, I've been blocking the wildebeest. Let him be winded. And then put Tafiq in there. McNeil in there. I'm giving y'all the plan. Put McNeil in there. Put Tafiq in there. Buell in there. If they use these boys the right way, they use these boys the right way, like you said, we're looking at the best D-line in the conference by far. I call myself Greg Setter for a reason. I'm going to say it with my doggone chest. By far. By far. By far. Hey, I'm saying what I'm saying. It is what it is. Welcome Prime Show. Yeah. I mean, all these boys are going to be important. All these boys are going to be Happy Father's Day. Absolutely. Put the countdown up. It's not going to be a exciting thing. It ain't fun and games like last year. It's not going to be fun and games. It was cute last year because it was a broken team. It was a broken team. Yeah, I think we know how many weeks it is, but thanks for keeping us abreast. Thanks for keeping us abreast. It's gonna be interesting. Everybody's watching. I think the D line is gonna be. You know what I like about it? I think that the D line is gonna be very much overlooked. I think so much attention is gonna go to the offensive line if they're gonna block for Shador, and rightfully so. But this is the scary part that people not realizing. If that is the case, you know what you just did. If the offensive line proved to give Shador time and we haven't run a game like everybody asking, and you're not watching the fact that defensive line is going to be pretty dominant, you wondering where we get our predictions from. You really wondering. You got to be a fool. If that combination happens, you know what you just described. You just described a top team, a number one team in that conference. You just described that. While you're hoping and wishing and wondering, if it happens, while we talking about 10 more weeks, if that happens, somebody going to be sitting down, they're going to be looking kind of different. And playing both sides of the fence is going to be real helpful for you. Like, whether it's sarcastic or not, saying that they're going to win, but saying they're going to lose and hedging your bet, you better do that. But I'm going to remember. One thing about me, I'm going to remember. So you're not going to be able to play with us like you were with us. You playing with us, and then you hoping we lose. So you ain't got nothing to say to me. If you scrabbling the fence, go ahead and say, see, you going to lose or they going to win. We don't have no conversation in 10 weeks. Don't talk to me about it. If see you winning, don't talk to me like you was with us. Because I know you playing both sides of the fence. And if you feel they're going to lose, say it with your doggone chest so we know where you stand. If you feel like they gonna be a losing record, say it. Don't play both sides. Yeah. Pass rush gonna be interesting with these boys. But don't dare leave out Tafik. See, one thing I said he the sleeper. Tafik, he gonna be that guy in the middle. He gonna be that guy, or you know, over that in that one. Tafik gonna be in there. He's very disruptive, man. He's very disruptive up the middle. Yeah. So, I mean, I think we don't really have to wait to see what Coach Sapp is knowing. I think Coach Sapp is proving what he can do in the spring with what we already had. That defensive line, skill wise, was a lot better. You know, that defensive line, technique wise, was a lot better, and they gave our offensive line a lot of good looks because that level of technique, they don't need to be prepared for just a base look, a base, one move, two move defensive line. They get a look at a variety of high level moves so they can be used to it and prepared for it. At the very least, that's what they're doing for our offensive line. They're getting the reps now. There's no surprises when the year starts. We getting looks. Even if, like I said, you put Big Barnes out there on Benson out there on the edge, that's an interesting thing to see because you ain't seeing that many guys that size coming off of that guy's definitely in the middle. But the fact that you get a taste of that out there, it's like you set a standard. Like the foundation is like, wow. If you can stand in front of that, that's a good test to have. So I think the looks that the line is giving, the D line is giving the offensive line is going to be impressive. It's going to be an impressive season for them. It's not like they're going to get a lot of surprises. So with these new boys coming, it's going to be an exceptional year. Shador Travis, going to be stellar this year. We already know what happened if you get that boy time. And Travis going to get open. You just got to give him time to get him. So long as these boys ain't in his mouth and Hut, and he actually can go through his projection. You got a problem, guys. And if you can't see that, you don't want to rush the season. I'm telling you that now. We're going to be probably wasn't really able to get some good players out of it. I mean, why would he? Think about it. Why would he be able to do it? The first portal open, he was still with another team, still trying to play in the bowl game. So you kind of missed that. Second one open after he lost a lot of players. He wanted to lose some, he lost more. And you thinking about what's left in that second portal. There's people who leaving their team. People who leaving at that point probably wasn't happy with their situation in spring. So when you talking about some guys, you had some grad guys, which had some of them, and then you just had what was left. And it's not like you was only filling in 15 spots, 10 spots at that point. At that point, you was filling in 30, 40 with the second portal. Now, if you have two portal cycles to grab these guys, then you can be more selective in that second window, the second cycle, and you got what you really need out that first one. And then you say, okay, I lost a few more players I didn't expect, or I expected, and let me add 10 more players to fill in the gap. But when you got to take from the second quarter and get 30, you see what we had. We had guys on crutches and everything. We filling in gaps with hurt guys. That's unheard of. We just filling in a roster at that point. And that's the situation he was in. But yeah, a hypocrite gonna sit here and talk that mess. Look what he accomplished with it. He was on people's neck. You want to throw a record around, but you don't want to throw away the fact he was on all their neck except 2 games. And that was after a dismantled team. Oregon took advantage after they depleted against CSU. The main player got hurt. The whole team was shifted around on both sides of the ball. And they had a lot of injuries with no depth. So be real with yourself now. Hey, I don't know why not. That's why you're on my channel and you ain't got your own. What I really want to do, since you here, where your channel at? You gonna did this thing for a whole year. Where's the Law Said It channel? Because I know you want to be me. So Law Said It. Where your channel at? I'm glad you here. I want to know where your channel at. Because I go on somebody else's channel, I can come back on my channel back. I ain't talking about going on other people's channel. I want to see your channel. I want to be a guest on your channel. Don't talk to me till you get your channel. Because you've been doing this thing long enough. And you're good at what you do. People want to hear what you say. I'm gonna push you. Go get your channel. Everybody put in the chat, tell this man to get his channel. We like what he do. He is the best CU hater / groupie / I'm on your side / I'm against you. He the best villain out there. That sounds like a great channel. Everybody else doing it. And then we're gonna come on your channel. And we want to see how you gonna do it. You can't go and do what Rod the Man did, and then Raw Dog or some was Rawhide, I think that's the other channel. These panel type. I want to see your format, and we're gonna support you, and we're gonna get in your chat, and we're gonna get on your stage. Let me know that's what you need to be worried about doing. Don't in 10 more, you got 10 weeks to get your channel up. I want to see your logo with the little chihuahua on it. I want to see your channel. We need channels like you out there. Don't just get on our channel. I need you to have a channel so I can enjoy. I want to enjoy your channel too. We want you to be great. Go be great, man. Don't be not great. What's the opposite of great? Don't be a loser. Be great. You represent Decatur, DeKalb County, Atlanta, like me. You represent. Go get your channel up. Tell Law Dog to get his channel, man. So and so we can come on now. We want you to get your little check too. Make you some t-shirts. We want you. You build your brand off our channels, man. It's time for you to get your channel going. I'm sure DC Music will come on out with you. Yeah, we all come help you. Everybody come help you. Come on, let's go. These dudes knowing all of the show. Just don't see you. Yeah, man. They need to get their own channel going. That's fine. It's room for everybody. It's gonna be a big season. Everybody gonna be. Matter of fact, being a CU hater, this might be your best year. If you ready to roll the dice on CU getting the whoop this year, this is the best year for you to have a channel. I hope it turn out like last year for you. If not, you gonna be ain't said it. Cause ain't nobody gonna be. You gonna get dogged out. So if you boldly believe what you believe, like I do, get your channel and go back to you, and let's see how long your channel lasts. Let's see who channel lasts longest. Is your channel gonna be out there talking trash while they winning? We'll see how long you last. My channel talking about them winning and they losing. That's the challenge I have. We ain't gotta talk about nothing else. My channel versus yours. And we'll come and support your channel. But we're gonna see how long your rhetoric lasts. Because your rhetoric gonna last or mine gonna last. That's how I do it. I started my channel. I want you to be great. You can't stat players anymore and not use them with the transfer portal effect. So they'll leave. Why not? It's 100 other teams out there. They will leave. And then they gonna dog them out. Why they leave? Because they was a 5-star on the 5th team on the depth. One reason why Nick left. He can't stack anymore. You know. I mean, the game changed. The game changed. The game changed. The game changed. Well, like I say, they gonna be the one hit the field. They gonna hit the field. We ain't hitting the field. They hitting the field. But we can say what we see, just like you say what you see. Right? But at the end of the day, they gonna be the one hit the field. Then show us them doggone zebras too. We're gonna have a conversation with them zebras. If y'all want to talk this big talk, then tell the zebras to get out the way. Don't be out there with the bogus calls. Call the man stepped out of bounds and he a mile away from the sideline. Don't let the man make a levitating catch where his right foot is down and they say he dragged his left foot. But if that was the case, the whole back leg would have been broke if he was dragging it while the other foot was in the air. That means your knee from the split. That kind of stuff. All that crazy stuff. If y'all want to see you let them play. Say the bogus calls and let them play. If they so sorry, let them play. Don't help the other team get extra possessions. Say call holding when it's beneficial. Call holding on the other team. How they ain't get no holding? We watching them hold. We looking at it. We looking at them hold the receiver because they gonna have to hold these receivers. They ain't finna cover them. Same way our receivers be holding them. They're not finna be covering straight up Travis Hunter, straight up Will Shepard, straight up Wester. They gonna be holding, so I want to see my flags. It's gonna be too many flags to throw. But keep it honest. Keep it honest. A lot of people this year. Yeah. They know. They know. What they say? They know. They know. and that was our biggest weakness, right? Everybody talk all that run crap. What was our run stats? We actually did stop the run. Ask Nebraska. Yeah, we gave up a couple unfortunate big runs at the wrong time, but they didn't beat us with the run. That's all these so-called football nerds. I know you don't know football. You ain't watching the game. They was beating us by throwing the ball. Actually, everybody, if they can't stop the run. Every week they beat us throwing the ball. They was throwing drag routes, slants. That's how Stanford won. That's how CSU stayed in the game. That's how everybody was doing. They was running drag routes. It wasn't the run game that beat us. It wasn't Cam Ward. Wasn't the run game that beat us. All right. Yeah, I clearly everybody don't know, but hey man, make sure you put your channel out there and let us know when you're gonna go live and get some subscribers, man. So we know when you're going. Cause I don't know nobody who know your channel. But Back of the Bus is your channel. Confirm that. Confirm that. Hey, he got to take what he dish out. Well, what Mike channel at too? He only relevant for one game. Law Dog, at least I'm supporting you too. I'm supporting you to get your own channel so I can support that. They put the money where your mouth is. I want to make sure you get paid. I want to make sure you get benefit for all this time you spending on social media. I want you to get you a check like everybody else. Maybe sell some t-shirts or something. I want you to get paid. Now you put a lot of time in these streets. And we want to make sure everybody here support you. So put your channel here so we can support you. And let us know when you're going live. We want to support you too. Truth is it. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Because truth and reality, somebody tell me what the difference is. Ain't no one support this team, and you claim they're only going to win this game. Hey, they just here, man. I say get your channel, man. You can get the 6-6 channel, 6-6 channel. They didn't call that. Me and B Watts went over the stats for the game. They took them out third game. They destroyed UCLA. UCLA only had like one touchdown up to that point. Everybody want to talk all around and talk stats. Talk the real game. The actual game, Colorado defense shut UCLA down. Did they have some management problems before halftime and all that? Yeah. But because I think CU would have went into halftime with the lead, but they turned around and did some crazy stuff right before halftime, I believe. I think that was that game. But yeah. So I think at the end of the day, Shiloh, they definitely threw off the D with that, but that ain't gonna happen no more. Yeah, I support Rod, man. Shout out to Rod, the man. He be here too. The difference between me, him, and you is we got channels you don't, or we don't know your channel. So when you get your channel, then you'll be one of us, and we can support your channel like you support ours. That's all we're trying to do, you know. We appreciate what you do. We like what you do. We want you to be great. Go get you a channel. That's all. So we can support you too. Yeah, I mean, everybody got a disagreement, but I think people who really, really own it like that, who be on here like that, and we know your name, get your channel. right? I gamble with the fans on all the money. Why you ain't got no show money? Get your show. I bet you get some OCU fans. You want the money? Get you a show and bet them on your show. I was Colorado challenge before. So what is you, man? Is you with Colorado or not? That's a silly comment. You was Colorado for Deion. So are you with Colorado or you not? Or you just Deion hater? I mean, cause we ain't here talking about Deion. We here talking about Colorado football. So if you with Colorado, what's your point? I'm trying to. If Law Dog tell them the truth, but Law Dog ain't really with CU, what are we talking about? If you a Colorado fan, you should be like Dave Talk Butts, other people who've been doing it. They ain't really trying to be a Colorado hater, really. They really trying to promote the team. I mean, because they've been with Colorado that long, they promote the team. But the body excuse me, be talking. Find a mess with news though. Okay, a cat talking. Well, I don't know what he's saying. He's getting deep. What's a cat with some sunglasses on? I don't know what he was trying to say. Okay, so what are you talking about Coach Prime for? He's with Colorado for Coach Prime, but he's Nebraska. You can talk Nebraska, say you talk Nebraska. Why be talking all around the place? Don't mention Coach Prime. Say you're a Nebraska fan. See, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, you can be the fan whoever you want to be, but what you mention him for? Yeah, they should love the guy. I mean, I think NFL guys love him. So I think, at the end of the day, thank y'all for subscribing. If you're here, I will hope you subscribe. I will hope. Like I said, we coming in early. We're getting out early today. Got stuff to handle. Shout out again to the fathers on Father's Day. Let me see here. As we close out, appreciate everybody coming through and supporting this channel. That's the beauty of having a channel. People can support you. And they can come in and say what they say. But at the end of the day, you on my channel. You support my channel. Appreciate you for coming through. Make sure while you here, go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe. I know you want to be here for everything. Make sure you subscribe so you can get your news from here. And if you really about it and you really support it, go ahead and hit that super chat. You say you support me, hit that super chat since you're here. Giving you entertainment, giving you something to talk about and bet on, whatever. Hit that super chat, right? You send some of them betting dollars over here. Super chat. Colorado, great team, yet to be seen. At the same time, we're going to see, like they say, in 10 weeks. I told you what I see. Other people tell you what they see. But on here, I'm telling you what I see. You're talking out the side of your neck when you say, we're going to see what that line do. If that line do what you waiting to see, you're in trouble. Your only best bet is that line don't do what they supposed to do. And if that's what you want to gamble on, have at it. But if that line do what they supposed to do, Shador is going to eat you alive. And I'm guaranteeing you ain't finna score a lot of points on that defense. You're not finna score a lot of points on that defense. So the last thing you want Shador to do is to score 30 plus points a game. And I just told you how the season's gonna go. If you let Shador score 30 points plus a game, that defense is not gonna be that kind of. The last year defense did that. And even they got better towards the end of the season. We didn't have a real pass rush outside of Jordan Dominic. Every now and then, some of the other guys step up. There you go. Thank you for the $2, Law Dog. New channel comes. Make sure when your new channel come, make sure you post the name of the channel. All right, and we'll be there. We'll be there. And I'm going to give you $2 when you get your channel too. All right. Colorado defense. It's not going to be a team you really can run on like that. They really built stop for the run. Thank God we got people out Tafiq and Buell to come in because they're true pass rushers. But when you look at Barnes and Shadoze, they are whole cloggers, right? So at the end of the day, you're not really going to run on them. And your quarterback better be dynamite to be able to go toe-to-toe with Shador. So basically, you saying, I'm telling you, not finna run all over him. So your quarterback is gonna have to go toe to toe with Shador. That means our defense is gonna have to be suspect in the secondary, which I know people hoping for, and 2, that quarterback gonna have to be pretty solid, because he's gonna do that against our pass rush. And I think our pass rush is the strongest asset of our defense. Our pass rushers that we brought in this year alone are the top, not including what we got in the first quarter. So I'm willing to tell you, I'm willing to bet, if you let Shador score 30 plus points, that's why I can say 10-2 is the floor. I'm not even talking about our running game. That's a whole nother problem, because what that means is, if I get ahead of you, my problem is this: my defense is stingy. My pass rush is relentless. My run game now is going to seal the game. It's going to make it hard for you to come back. If you're able to come back, we're going to milk the clock at that point. What I'm saying to you is, Shador get ahead of you this season. Well, all the people who tomorrow wait this come, I want y'all to know. You see this guy? Make sure y'all get a snap of this right here. Screenshot it. I hope you don't go into witness protection after game 2. So last year, them people went in witness protection. Then they come out. Okay? Don't go in witness protection. Stay where you at. I'm putting all these things up on the screen because the chat don't show on the video, but when we run these videos back, everything I'm putting on the screen will. All right? These are considered receipts. Because y'all want to gnaw on people next soon see you lose. But don't be the coward when they win. Don't be the coward. This is not last year CU. And if you think this all, keep it up. Keep it up. Because at the end of the day, this is the year that he talking about last year. He said, get me now last year. You ain't finna get him this year. You're not finna get him this year. I'm saying it with my chest. I ain't on my channel. I'm telling you, you're not gonna get him next. You're not gonna get him this year. You let him get them dogs he said he needed. He said he needed about 6-7 dogs. He got more than 6-7 dogs. So he really overdid it. I mean, they blew him out last year. Don't be surprised if they blow him out this year, guys. That's what I'm telling you. I'm not trying to be whatever. I'm not trying to be. You can think what you want. I'm being realistic. I'm giving you why you in trouble. I'm telling you why you in trouble. This is not last year CU. Their defensive line is going to be relentless. I know y'all wait for 10 weeks to see this, but I'm telling you, our last year defensive line was not that great. And even then, they'll every now and then give people a hard time. We had nobody in the middle who can hold it down. Light in the butt. Both of our guys. Shane Coates in the middle. Bishop was in the middle. They was light. Our linebackers, they have no clue what they were doing. There was no help. They got better as the season went on, as we would say. What I'm telling you is, this team is not last year. Our edge rushers are relentless. Our linebackers are a lot smarter and a lot more skilled. Our secondary is still the ball hawks they were last year, and they're better. Our other cornerback was always suspect. I'm gonna tell you, between McKinney and B Hood, I'm not B Hood, Colton Hood, we will have another cornerback. And it's good that they both stepping up, because if Travis need a rest, we got somebody that can go on the other side. we still can use Hodge. Hodge he ain't only got to play the slot. Because believe it or not, I think Stockmar can get in there and play the slot. I think we still got some other guys that can jump in that slot, like I think Riley. You know, I think Johnson is usable. They safety corner hybrids. So we got the depth. I think Sealman Craig can still come down and really play that nickel. He ain't got to be a pure safety either, guys. We bumped him back to safety, but really we can bump him down to play nickel too, because that's what he played last year. And then we can put Shiloh back there with Johnson, with RJ. So we got places we can move. We still got Herman Smith, but he can play back there. So y'all just keep this in mind, and we're gonna go deep into this. I ain't blowing smoke. I'm not blowing smoke. He said passive hate. That's crazy. You don't play these psychological terms like that. So look here, man. Everything we saying, it got to be proven. Same thing the hater got to say. I'm just saying the hater got less rope this year. You got less rope to play with. And if you don't realize that, man, say your ego. I ain't here to throw it in your face. They all throw it in the face when Colorado lose. I just want to see them win and go all the way. I'm not here for the haters. The haters here for me. The haters here for other content creators. The haters here for Colorado. I'm not here for you. This channel wasn't made for haters. So I'm not doing this to entertain a hater. I'm not doing this to shame a hater. Colorado gonna shame you. This team is you gotta be hate on you if you can't see what I'm saying. You gotta be able to see what I'm saying. This defense ain't nothing to play with. This offense ain't nothing to play with. You should already know that, but if you don't, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm just glad what Greg said it. Glad y'all are here once again. Happy Father's Day. Enjoy the rest of your Father's Day weekend. And I will be talking to y'all soon. Y'all have a good one.